Happy, happy morning. None of you seems to be happy. Okay. Okay, let me try again for all those who are still not happy. It would be a blessing from a teacher. We always respect teacher as Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri, Guruve Namaha. Sometimes it's better to listen to a teacher because his curse would be the biggest curse and his wish and his blessings would be a biggest blessing. Let me again ask you, those who are happy and who are not going to die out of cancer, which is actually got to be known to you in 2 days back, if that kind of a suffering is there, you need not use that happiness. Otherwise, let us come with a full swing with happiness. Can you respond to me? Happy morning! Happy morning! Journalism students, when you go and meet a new entity who needs to give you an interview, there should be a fire in your talk. There should be a fire in your dynamism. Only then the other person will feel like, let me continue with an interview. Otherwise, he has to say, no, I don't want to give you an interview. The best way to start your conversation is definitely with a greetings, but using very ordinary greetings like good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. I think we can use more powerful phrases like happy morning, happy afternoon, happy evening, happy night. See, we are talking about multiple intelligence. Most of us have already decided that if at all I am going to be friendly with anybody, if at all I am going to meet somebody, I want the other person also to be quite smart. So, keeping that as a perspective, the belief that you hold at the beginning of the journey defines the journey. In that perspective, if I can start with a positive belief of happy morning, happy afternoon, happy evening, happy night, I think the entire projection would be much more beautiful. So today we are going to talk about multiple intelligence. When we talk about multiple intelligence, we mainly speak about 8 multiple intelligence an individual could have. It could be a carry-on of all 8, or it could be a carry-on of all 7, all 5, all 4, all 3, all 2, all 1. Means it can start from 1 or 2 to it can go with all 8 multiple intelligence. See, when we talk about this 8 multiple intelligence, just for classification purpose, we classify them as bodily intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, linguistic intelligence, logical intelligence, visual intelligence, musical intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence, and naturalistic intelligence. These are the different intelligence that exist in us, and we will try to identify them individually, what each such intelligence is going to help you with. The perspective of today's session is to see as a journalism student, what is my intelligence? And what is that I want to develop if at all I lack in one of these intelligence. All of us cannot have all these intelligence, but if at all I want to develop in one such intelligence, there are means by which you can start focusing and slowly you will start working on those intelligence and you can master that intelligence. For that we are trying to understand this. As the name itself suggests, bodily intelligence are people who are body smart. Interpersonal intelligence are those who are good in interpersonal communication, they are a good communicator, they are a good orator. Linguistic is those who are good in writing, who are good in words, a great writers. Logical people who can think logically mathematical calculations. Those are logical or maths, we can call them as intelligence. Visual people who are very strong in visual, they look at an object, they observe the object, they understand the object and they are able to visualize it and make better. These are actually called as visual smart. And musical intelligence, all the musicians who are called as music smarts. And intrapersonal intelligence, those who can get into themselves, they can see inside themselves, spiritual people, these are called as intrapersonal intelligence. And naturalistic intelligence, people who want to be in nature, like our farmers, and there are a lot of scientists who are a part of a nature and their invention will be projected and their inventions would happen with respect to nature. Now, we will identify few famous personalities who had these intelligence how they made up their career. Ultimately, we are looking for a better career. If I can understand what intelligence my mind is made up of, if I can work on few other intelligence if I want to develop, that is also possible. When we talk about this multiple intelligence, our objective is, can we have a SWOT analysis done? Identifying what are all my strengths, means what are all the intelligences I possess, at what level I have it, can I work on that level, make it still more better, what is that intelligence I don't have, can I really work on it and better it, then I will try to do. If I cannot work on it, if I cannot better it, can I focus on what already I have and start investing more time looking for a career in that particular field. This is what we call it as smart move in looking for a career, smart move in looking for a life which is satisfying. Never trying to do something which I am not fit for and somebody pushes me to do it, it may not work for you. So for that reason, for that basic understanding, today we are teaching you about this multiple intelligence. Just let us give this definition, understand the definition, what intelligence is. If I ask Google or ChatGPT, this is the answer what we get. What is intelligence? The ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skills is called as intelligence. When a question paper is given to you, those who can apply their knowledge, their skills, apply their remembrance skills, pick up the right answer, put it exactly as per the requirement of the question, as per the rules and regulations of the question, as per the marks carried in the question, then they automatically tend to get 100% marks. Those who are not able to do it accurately, they may get a little less. Those who are only able to do it averagely, they get average. So, our intelligence can be fine-tuned to at least reach this academic objective. Now, it could be the other way, because you are journalism students. Definitely one of the greatest skill set a journalism student should have is communication skills. Wherever, in whatever place, at whatever time, in whatever position you are, can you spontaneously go up and stand in front of people and can you address them? That skill set is very, very important. When I know this is one of the main skill sets that is required, let me keep working right from my first, second, third year, and then before I could go for post-graduation, let me fine-tune those skill sets so that I become one of the best speakers. So that will help you to become a newsreader, that will help you to become a news reporter, a live news reporter. It would help you to start your own news channels. And today for startup, there is no scarcity. Every city, at every minute and every moment of time, there is some startup happening in India, if you look at the statistics. Now, we have understood what intelligence means, and let us go another way of understanding the same definition. Intelligence means one's capacity of learning. Why we say capacity of learning in the sense, I am talking about visual intelligence. I am actually blind. So automatically my visual intelligence will have to drop to zero because I cannot use that sensory organs in order to identify a visual and try to get into the intelligence of understanding it. So there what happens, that vertical cannot be improved. But there are other verticals where I can be a master of. Even in journalism, there are blind students who have gone through the graduation, and they are really in the field of journalism. But they may be doing a different work altogether, not the work what you people are getting ready to. So that way, if any of our intelligence is not up to the required mark, then you can start focusing on the other intelligence, start mastering it. The more I master it and start investing time, taking help of mentors, taking help of specialist who is good in that particular field, and then working, you can master that skill set to a level where everything else becomes a back venture. A simple example, why I am talking about this. To become an actor, practically to become an actor, one of the biggest, not in terms of intelligence, let me say requirement would be, a person should look smart, he should look good, he should look beautiful. Okay, you should look tall, you should have a 9-pack or a 6-pack, and you should have, okay, a look that can say he can become an actor. When people looked at him from top to bottom, he was so dark looking, nobody wanted to give him any kind of a chance, even to act as a side actor, forget about being a superstar. He never had a head which was in combination with the body, because he had a very big head and small eyes. He had a very broad chest, and he never had 9 packs, not even a family pack, a flat pack, not so high, not too short, but nothing what appeared looked like he could become an actor. And today, when we are talking about him, we remember his style, and that style was his one takeover, and that became where he started focusing on. He kept on focusing on that style, made it much more stronger, much more excellent, and slowly what happened, he became a superstar and an highest paid actor of South Asia. I am talking about the superstar Rajinikanth. Even at this age, when his movie is released, people crowd to watch his movie, and it was only because he knew what could be changed, and he also knew what could not be changed. No Fair and Lovely or lactocalamine could change his color, he knew. No kind of medication can either increase his height or decrease his height, he knew. Any kind of intake may not actually make his head look a little, when you look at somebody, you say, if his head posture was a little cubish and a little slim, he would have looked much smarter. He can't change it. Plastic surgery cannot be done to the skull. Knowing all that, he knew there was one skill set that he is proud of, and he can always take it to the next level. He kept on working on it, and today he is a superstar only because of that. A chai wala. I don't know what kind of intelligence you have. You guys will have to do research because you are the journalism students. A chai wala should live as a chai wala and die as a chai wala. Now we need to do research. Why did this chai wala become a greatest prime minister? And today, why is he admired as one of the top prime ministers of the world? And you have a question to answer. What kind of intelligence he had? Was he good in communication? Amazing. Was he good in vision? You do the research. But even a chai wala can hit that bullseye and become so-called prime minister. It is possible. What kind of intelligence he had? A question to be answered. There was this tribal woman. None of us could even imagine being a tribal. We want to be in the posh city. We want to live in the posh place. We want to live in an educated environment. And our surrounding is full of educators and educated people. And this lady who lived with animals in deep forest, as she was called tribal, she should have lived as a tribal and she should have died as a tribal. But today she is the first citizen, our honorable president, Draupadi Murmu. Ask yourself, what is that intelligence she had in her which could take from where she is to what she has become? It's a question to be answered. A fisherman's son should remain as a fisherman and die as a fisherman. How could he become a scientist? A question to be answered. What intelligence he had and what intelligence he kept on working on, so that today he is considered as the greatest scientist and also one of the greatest president. I am talking about the fisherman's son, Abdul Kalam. Ask yourself, what kind of intelligence he had that turned him from what he is to becoming something else. So let us try. We have understood that intelligence is a capacity of learning, reasoning, understanding, logic, self-awareness, and similar forms of mental activity. Everything is a mental activity that gets involved in what we call it as intelligence. What intelligence, when you start getting involved in, it can make a big difference in your career path. And along with this intelligence, one more basic intelligence is required. Belief system, a belief in yourself. Because whether they had anything else, we will keep it on the other side. But this chaiwala believed he can make a big difference, and he really did make. Ask yourself right now sitting here, what is your belief system? It could be even getting that final job. What is that belief system in you which says, I will get a job and my job can fetch me 1.5 CR per year or CTC per year, or my job can get me 50 lakhs CTC per year. Or I'll start a business, I'll start a startup, and my startup will be paying a monthly salary of so many crores for so many people working under me. Ask yourself, what is your belief system now? Because there are people who have already done miracles with all these multiple intelligence put together. Now your question is, what is your take here? Now you should ask yourself this question. Right now, what is your mind mapping? Where does your mind say you can be mapped to? Right now, what is your dream? Where do you think your mind says this can be achieved and this is my dream of life? There is a beautiful saying, we always say it multiple times. Where there is a will, there is a way. Can all of you repeat? Where there is a will, there is a way. Let me rephrase it. There is always a way. Do you have the will? There is always a way. There was a way by which Chaiwala has become a Prime Minister. There is nothing like you will have to look for. There is a way even for a college dropout like Bill Gates to have a software being used in every house, in every computer that is being used across the globe. Yes, there is always a way. Do you have the will? I have been addressing in Christ University, which is in Dairy Circle campus, that is South Bangalore. In few of the campus drive, along with my friends, I had also gone. We have seen students of MBA cadre getting 1 CR CTC, and that has become a reality. Now, it is a question that you will have to answer. Do you have that will? Are you daring enough to tell, I am also expecting the same? How many of you can raise your hand the moment I say, how many of you are ready to dare to say, I want 1 CR CTC per year? Please raise your hand. Very few hands. The rest of you? Sometimes to believe that you can achieve it, no intelligence is required, one common intelligence is required, that nothing is achieved by you all alone. Always remember, everything that happens to you, it happens because of thy will. There is nothing that happens because on your own. There is a beautiful saying, God is a co-author of your destiny. God is a co-author of your destiny. He cannot without you, and you also cannot without him. Most of our times, we actually develop what is called as inferiority complex, that I cannot achieve because you forget he is not there with you, or he is not supporting you, or sometimes you develop what is called a superiority complex because you forget that you are doing everything. That becomes egoistic. Both are very, very dangerous. If you have the right kind of intelligence, neither that should happen nor this should happen. Let us look at this once again. What is all this multiple intelligence? I have already told you. Bodily kinesthetic intelligence, these people are called as, they are body smart. Interpersonal intelligence, they are people smart. They are very good in socializing, especially for journalism students. You should be very good in socializing. Verbal and linguistic intelligence, you are word smart. You should be a good writer. You should have started writing blogs right from here. Your blog should have had followers right from this year onwards, so that over a period of time, people like the way you actually project. News is always a news. But the way the news is projected, the emotions that is attached, and the live movements that is being taken into your writing, that can predict how deep impact it can actually put onto the readers. So that kind of a writer you will have to become. That only comes because you will be word smart. Ask yourself, am I enough in word smart, or should I learn a little bit more so that I can better my word smartness? Next, logical and mathematical intelligence, definitely it is not for journalism students, but if you have nothing like it, if you can remember maths, numbering and reasoning smart is very important. It may help you on a detective level. There are calculations that are done to predict what can happen. Even AI is capable of doing it. One beautiful example is, if you have time after the class, please go for a small research. There was an exit poll prediction that was done for the last election of the entire India, and there was no such exit polls which told that BJP would be scoring the record low, what they thought compared to what they had declared, 400 par, is par 400 par. That was their vision. But no such predictions that came from any such organizations came very close to the answer. But there was one such prediction which was very close to the result, that was done by Z News channel. If you just go to Google and actually ask for AI based exit poll by Z News channel, you will get a small report, and that report exactly matched the results what we got. So that capabilities is also required as a journalism student. Because you are a journalism student, they assume that you can always know about the situation, you can predict what could happen because of the previous analysis, because of the people whom you have come across, whom you have actually conversed with. That is called as numbering and reasoning smart. The next is visual spatial intelligence, they are picture smart. And musical and rhythm, they are music smart. Intrapersonal, they are self smart. Spiritual leaders, they can see through themselves, they are into themselves, they are into meditation, they are into preaching, these kind of intelligence. And naturalistic intelligence, people who are naturally smart. Other than this, there is also another kind of bifurcation of intelligence where people call it as a cognitive intelligence and non-cognitive intelligence, which also is one of the intelligence that people study in order to see where they can improve. So that is what we say cognitive intelligence, non-cognitive intelligence. Non-cognitive intelligence comes under the category of emotional intelligence. What is cognitive intelligence? Yes, definitely when we talk about cognitive intelligence, it is your logical intelligence, analytical, maths intelligence, okay, your research analyzed intelligence, all this comes under cognitive intelligence. Non-cognitive intelligence is something which comes dil se. My intuition and my intelligence say he is a murderer, though he has no connection with this murder, I strongly feel he is the person, he is the culprit. That kind of a non-cognitive intelligence or an emotional intelligence comes here. It also has its own deep studies, we will not go there because we have limited time. The way people check your IQ and EQ today when you are actually looking for a higher end jobs, people give you smart tests in order to identify what is your IQ and what is your EQ. IQ stands for intelligent quotient, it is your cognitive intelligence checking. EQ stands for emotional quotient, your emotional intelligence checking. The best way to actually put you onto an emotional intelligence checking is, are you a public speaker? That kind of a question is asked if they want to check how actually you are emotionally smart. See, when you will have to come on the dais and when you will have to address people on a public speaking forum in front of a mic, in front of a dais, in front of a large gathering, though there is no physical danger, as per cognitive when you look at, is there any such physical danger that could happen when a person is standing on a dais and he is addressing people? No, not at all. Yes, I am training you to actually learn to cycle. Even that cycling learning can always create danger either to you or the person whom you knock or the person who knocks you. So there is a danger. I am trying to teach you swimming. Cognitive intelligence says there is lot of danger in actually learning swimming. So rules and regulations must have to be followed. Otherwise you may lose your life. True. Mountain climbing. What does cognitive intelligence say? Highly risky learning because there are chances of mistakes and such mistakes can actually cost you your life or a physical danger, a physical injury. But on the other side, why I am talking about non-cognitive and emotional intelligence is, though all of you know, right now if I call few of you randomly and then ask you to introduce yourself, why did you join for this journalism classes? Few of you may volunteer, beautiful. That means your emotional quotient is quite high. Few of you, even if I make 4 people carry you, you are not ready to come. If I give him a choice, you are given a loaded gun, now I will send 4 people to carry you. He may use all the loaded guns to fire the bullet onto you, but he will not dare to come here. Why? Because his emotional quotient is not that strong. So the best way to improve your emotional quotient is get into a public speaking class and start speaking publicly, because you know there the danger and the intelligence that is required is not IQ, it is EQ that is required. And all of you know there was research done and it was found out the third largest fear and the second largest fear which humans fear and the first largest fear, journalism student. Can I expect an answer? As per the research, it was found out there are three fears. I'll give you the choice also. The first one was fear of public speaking, the second one fear of snakes, and the third one is fear of death. If I put it in order, what do you think people fear the most, the third most fearful experience? Fear of death. I'm making a few changes, telling you the answer. What was the second biggest fear that people felt? Fear of snakes. And definitely the first biggest fear what students or even staff like us who feared is speaking in public. That is fear of public speaking. So, if you can work on your fear of public speaking, automatically your emotional quotient will start becoming better. Such people will have more self-control, because this is the place where everything goes out of control. As soon as I walked in and I looked at so many beautiful and smart looking faces, I did not know where to start, how to start. Butterflies were there. I've been speaking for more than 25 years, but still that doesn't conveniently say in this place I will start feeling very, very comfortable. Definitely not. My emotions had taken me to a next level, and it was telling what is going to happen to you when you actually start speaking to this Christ University students, because they are your juniors only. I was a Christ College student from this so-called Wilson Garden or Bangalore Southbound division. But still I was fearing, youngsters are too smart. There were butterflies in my stomach. And until and unless I did not complete at least my first 5 minutes of my talk, I was actually physically doing Michael Jackson dance only, but it was not visible to you. Why? There is this emotional imbalance that happens. Sometimes I was actually thinking, what should I say, and what if I say they would actually feel that topic or the point what I am giving it to them deeply in the right nature given to them. So I was picking for points. So all this is happening because my EQ is little disturbed in the initial phase, but slowly when I cross that phase of what we call it as a time period, slowly I become very, very comfortable. That is how we handle this EQ. In case somebody asks you, the 8 multiple intelligence is also there. At the same time, the 2 intelligence that is broadly classified as cognitive intelligence and one more, non-cognitive intelligence. The other name given to non-cognitive intelligence is emotional intelligence. Now, actually, who gave this multiple intelligence? It was Howard Gardner. Can all of you repeat it 3 times? At least at the end of the session, if somebody asks you what did Sir speak about, Sir spoke about Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence. Can all of you repeat? Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence. All of you louder, journalism students. Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence. Once again, Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence. And there is a 2 other broad classification. One is cognitive intelligence, one more is non-cognitive intelligence. Cognitive intelligence is measured using IQ. IQ is the term that they use. We call it as intelligent quotient. Okay, emotional intelligence is measured using EQ, emotional quotient. When you as a journalism student, when you are talking to somebody, your eyes and your observation should be what kind of body language I am seeing with the listener, and you should be able to identify whether he is telling the truth or whether he is bluffing. So that intelligence has to be there in you to identify that. Only then your question can go deep into those places where you feel he is not answering it right. And HR also does the same kind of analysis. When HR is talking to the students like BCA, BTech, ME, MTech students, we ask we start with a very simple basic question. Depending on how he has answered that question, we go deep into that. And depending on how he has answered that, we go much more deeper. Initially it is a shallow question. Based on how he answers, we go deep. Based on how he has answered that deep question, we still go deep. And there we try to identify whether he has the required skill set that is needed for him to work in the job. That's all. That's how we do. And there we definitely check his IQ and EQ. He has to have a very strong emotional quotient. He definitely needs to have a very strong intelligent quotient. So with this, we will start going one by one. What are this multiple intelligence and who are those important personalities who have this? We take up the first, logical and mathematical intelligence. These are people who are good mathematicians, who are scientists, chess players, software programmers. Today, when I say what is an AI, AI is having all these 8 intelligence in abundance. AI has all these 8 intelligence in abundance, and he can self-learn and improve on all these 8 intelligence. Now, you as an individual, can I also self-learn and improve on all these 8 individuals? This is a question you will have to ask, and you will have to start preparing right from now. You will have to actually pick up a friend of you who is honest and who can actually give you critics straight on the face. Or pick up a lecturer who is good in honestly telling what you are. There should not be any emotional quotient there. It has to be cognitive. What you are is told to you, just putting a mirror in front of you, exactly the way you are. And then you make a tabular column of all these intelligence and ask your lecturers or your friends to give you a rating between 0 to 10. And based on what rating you get, before getting that rating, you decide, I want this in this particular skill set, intelligence, this and this, this and this. If it is below, you will have to work on it. More time that is invested on it, you become better. If it is satisfactory, can you make it still more better? This small homework that you will have to do. Otherwise, this class would become one more such class. Information is thrown, that comes to ChatGPT also, that comes to Google also. I have also thrown the information. When you are not ready to process it and bring some changes, difference will not happen. There is a beautiful saying, Dushman kahan hai? All of you have heard this word? Dushman kahan hai? What is the answer? Dushman bagal mein hai. All of you say this. Can you repeat? Dushman kahan hai? 3 times. Dushman kahan hai? Dushman kahan hai? Dushman kahan hai? What will be the answer? Dushman bagal mein hai. Most of our answers are like this. When a person or an individual becomes successful, it is not because of his bagal. Dushman bagal mein nahi hai. Dushman andar hai. If you want to become successful, there is no dushman who is responsible for your successful. It is you yourself. You should ask, I know I have a dushman in me, I know I have a dost in me, but can I bring out the dost in me and that dost transform this chaiwala to a prime minister, this tribal woman in becoming the president, and this fisherman's son to become a scientist. Now you should ask your question, am I a dushman to myself or am I a dost to myself? Because most of the time, your inhibition and your myth is, for me to be successful, I want a godfather. My father should have been successful. I want to be a great journalist. If my father is not, can I become? This inhibition will be solved if you know that you are responsible for your own success, and again, you are responsible for your own failures. So identify these intelligence and start working towards it. Logical and mathematical intelligence, I have already told you. Let us see who are those important personalities. Yeah, definitely Albert Einstein, Aryabhatta, who gave 0 to the world, Sir Isaac Newton, a mathematician and physicist, Vishwanath Anand, chess player, and the younger chess player who has won the Masters, he also won Shakuntala Devi. All these are actually good in logical and mathematical intelligence. Ask yourself, if this is where your intelligence lies, pick up that vertical of job or profile or a job profile that you want to look for and see to it you get the job. Your life will be like a picnic because it matches your intelligence. If you try to pick up a job or a profession which does not match your intelligence, you will feel very uncomfortable there. Either you will have to develop that skill sets and see to it you enjoy that path, or you give up that and pick up something else where it matches your multiple intelligence. That is what we wanted to address to. Next, visual and spatial intelligence we call. Definitely these are designers, painters, animators, image consultants, landscape architects and choreographers. Example, yes, they're definitely Walt Disney. Yeah. So we have Walt Disney, Manish Malhotra, the costume designer, Picasso, the greatest painter, and Sarnath Banerjee, who was actually the first graphic novel writer. These are the people who are very good in visual. So the more good you are in visual, pick up the career that actually matches your intelligence. So that way you will enjoy it. So Leonardo da Vinci, who actually painted this Mona Lisa, Galileo, the inventor of telescope, Frank Lloyd, architect, and even our greatest Bangalore architect or Karnataka's architect, Sir M. Vishwesvaraya, and Eiffel Tower creator or a builder, Gustavo Eiffel. All these people had this very high visual and intelligence. Ask yourself, this is what is your intelligence? This is the kind of career path that you could plan for. So, and the next would be people smart. People smart are those people who are bodily kinesthetically smart. They can move their body in whatever comfortable position they are. They are yoga experts, they are Ayurvedic massage therapists, medicine practitioner, physiotherapist, sports person, astronaut. These are the people who are strong in bodily kinesthetic. Examples of them, yes, even artists like M.F. Hussain, the way he moves his hand and creates an image. Abhinav Bendre, the shooter. Then fashion designer and physician like Naresh, and magician, the way they move their body and they make it look like a magic. That is the kind of skill sets what they have. And they definitely yoga guru, the way he moves his body, and they are bodily smart. Sachin Tendulkar, to play cricket, to be a batsman, he should know how to use the bodily movements of his hands and legs. That is when he becomes the best. Tiger Woods, and they definitely a dancer and an actor, Hrithik Roshan. So all these people are bodily smart. Definitely intrapersonal people are those who look inwards. When you get into this place called as Mahakumbh, a Mahakumbh as that you can call it as a big valley of people who are actually having excellent intrapersonal skills. They are not in need of any materialistic need. They are never looking at the outside world. They are living for themselves. They are living within themselves. So these people are spiritual readers, the Naga sadhus, the writers, the Aghoris who write spiritual books. When you speak to them, that is when you realize. You should have seen a lot of write-up given by various journalists about this great Mahakumbh which is happening. When every time they spoke to this Naga sadhus, there were some of those Naga sadhus who had miraculous knowledge. Not even actually getting into a normal schooling and having this kind of a knowledge, it has only come to them because they have never looked at the outside world, they have looked inside and they have got answers to everything that was asked for. And these are those intrapersonal intelligence holders. Definitely Swami Vivekananda, Mother Teresa, Dalai Lama, Osho, Ravi Shankar Ji, Satya Sai Baba. All these people were spiritual people. Naturalistic, people who like nature. If you are a kind of a person, then become a nature journalist. You will get into the forest, you will do research, you will try to identify about them. Then you should not pick up the other one. So, naturalistic, they are environmental activists, Ayurvedic doctors, agricultural professionals. Ask yourself whether I want to get into this. Definitely these are the examples. R.K. Kashuri, Indian environmentalist and Nobel Prize winner. Maneka Gandhi, Blue Cross activist. Megha Patakar, who was working for Nirmala Bachao, Nirmala River Bachao. Charles Darwin, who actually gave the origin of species from the gorilla to man. How did we actually cross? If you are this kind, then you will have to shift into that vertical of journalism. Linguistic, these people are very good in words. They are very good in letters. They are very good in writing. So they become writers, novelists, curriculum designer, librarian, lyricists. They are also able to verbally or in writing explain and convince and express themselves. If you are this linguistic, this is the kind of people who will have to get into journalism and writing novels, writing blogs, writing write-ups. So technical writers. So these examples could be Rabindranath Tagore, William Shakespeare, Ruskin Bond, J.K. Rowling, Shobha. And the other person, interpersonal, people who are amazing public speakers. They can stand in front of the public and they can address as many students as possible, as many people as possible, because they are people smart. They can talk to the audience, mesmerize them and make them do what they actually want, convey the message in the manner they want, deep into their subconscious state, at least make them do what they want to do. These are public speakers. Definitely a good politician should have this public speaking abilities. Radio jockeys, journalists, all these people come who are under this interpersonal skills. And examples for them, definitely most of you want to become a Godfather, Sri Sadhguru, Opera, Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Abdul Kalam. When I use certain examples, I use those examples, the same person's example in 2 or 3 such multiple intelligence. That means an individual can have multiple such intelligence in him which can qualify for him to become what he became. Practically speaking, in Bhagavad Gita or when we look at the Ramayana and Mahabharata, it actually says Krishna had not only these 8 intelligence, there are 21 such verticals of intelligence that as per Vedas it has been classified, and in all those intelligence Krishna had the highest 10 out of 10. Your skill or your goal has to be in upgrading yourself to that average level, at least in these 8 multiple intelligence. Okay, time is running. Okay, now there are certain students who are good in musical. They definitely become singer, musician, jingle writer and sound designer. Example, definitely Lata Mangeshkar, our Rahman and Zakir Hussain and Michael Jackson. In a whole, just to make a small summary of what we exactly spoke. So, multiple intelligence, examples of those important personalities, because when you go through their personalities, it would automatically help you. Verbal, Robert Frost, a poet, writer, newscaster. Logical, mathematical, Einstein, accounting, banking, medicine, this is the field. Visual, Martin Luther King Jr., who was a dreamer. All of you know who Martin Luther King Jr. is? Journalism. Do you remember these words? When he was in an open Abraham Lincoln Hall addressing a group of people, he told, "My fellow citizens of America, this White House will witness there will not be any color discrimination." That means he told a White House will witness a black president indirectly. And the entire audience shouted, "Oh!" But his vision was so strong that he dreamt and he kept on telling, uttering it multiple times. It was only few years later when Obama became not only the first time the black president, second time also the black president, and that was because Martin Luther King Jr. dared to visualize and dream. So there is such a big power in visualizing and dream. You should ask yourself this question: am I daring enough to visualize and dream? So the entire understanding is, now because we have spoken about multiple intelligence, it's not how smart you are. You should always ask this question: in which intelligence is how you are smart in which intelligence? In the 8 intelligence that is displayed, you should ask this question: in which intelligence are you smart enough? And that can actually give you an answer for all these solutions. So these are the 8 multiple intelligence that we have seen. All of you can be loudly at least utter these intelligence one by one. All of you: bodily intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, linguistic intelligence, logical intelligence, visual intelligence, musical intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, and naturalistic intelligence. So, a small understanding, irrespective of whatever intelligence we had, whatever examples I took, when you consistently don't work on that intelligence and improvise, you cannot become the best. We took up an example of Lata Mangeshkar and we told she is musical. She is having amazing musical intelligence. But if she did not learn well, if she did not invest time well, if she did not actually master that skill set with the right kind of mentor, she definitely wouldn't have reached the heights what she has reached. In the same manner, when we spoke about Tendulkar, yes, he is bodily intelligent, but as a short man standing in front of that pitch, which always is going to be a bouncer, the rule book very clearly told, if you want to be a batsman, you should not be short. Irrespective of that, he knew intelligence does not lie in how you apply, intelligence where you apply and how you have practiced to apply. That is going to define your results. He kept on standing there day in, day out, kept on investing time, and over a period of time, today we call him a god of cricket or a god of batsman. Why? Because he started investing time. Most of your intelligence, what we spoke, these 8 intelligence, they would be associated with these 5 sensory organs. Most of our few sensory organs will be too powerful. The other sensory organs would be a little less powerful. Like if I take up an example of tasting, you are also given a taste and you can say whether the food was good or bad. But there are tasters who taste wine, there are tasters who taste tea, and they are being paid for every taste lakhs of rupees. And why? Because they have spent enough time to go deep into the taste. So in the same manner, whether it is hearing, whether it is smell, when a musician hears to a music, you will be dancing on the top of your energy because you felt the music is too good. But the musician hears the same music because he's gone deep into those intelligence of understanding the music, and he can pick up at least 20-30 mistakes in a 1 month music that was played, in a 1 minute music that was played by one of the participants, and he can very clearly say where they have gone wrong. So ultimately what does this boil down? Irrespective of what intelligence you have, if you don't consistently work on that intelligence, like Shakuntala Devi, we call her as a human computer. She did not become a human computer one day she woke up and she became a human computer, definitely not. She kept on working on that skill set consistently from the age of 7, 8, 9, because there was a movie that was made on her. In that documentary, it very clearly says, as a young girl, people started asking her, multiply this number with this number, 3 digits with 3 digits, 4 digits with 4 digits. She consistently kept on doing it. She started investing time. She took help of few people who could help her to improvise this. And when she consistently improvised, a time came where she became an expert. In the same manner, all these intelligence, what you identify, you need to work on it. You need to consistently work on it. Only then over a period of time, you can grow. So, with this, we wanted to end with 1 or 2 notes. When you are studying also, you should ask, what is the intelligence level you have? Accordingly, when you study, you will get maximum results. All of us have, in broadly, when we are only looking from the study perspective, there are visual intelligent students who just observe things, they understand, they grab. They should only follow that visual technique. Other things may not work for them. There are auditory intelligent people who can always listen multiple times and then do. They are called as auditory intelligent students. They should only work on that particular vertical. And the last one is kinesthetic. There are certain people whose visual is not that powerful, whose auditory is also not that powerful. They need to sit, they need to use their entire mind, body, right, do experiments multiple times and then learn. Those would be these kinesthetic intelligent students. So you should ask yourself what kind of intelligence you have, depending on whether you could get it just by observing, or you only got it when you read it multiple times, or you only got it when you wrote it multiple times, when you did the experiment multiple times. This was one beautiful understanding. Those who are visual intelligent, when you see the formula you understand, when you see the point you understand, then somebody is telling you, observe them, you understand, your visual is powerful. Language, those who are auditory, you need to listen to yourself multiple times. So sometimes we say, even if the class can be audio recorded and then you could go during your free time, keep listening to it multiple times. That way, when multiple such revision has happened, you can master the skill set. So that happens by following this. Definitely those who are not auditory, those who are not visual intelligent, they will have to go for kinesthetic way of doing things. Kinesthetic is, I sit, I write, I sit, I do the experiment, I understand, I use my entire body getting involved, and then I learn, it works. So all of us will repeat these three as a takeover. There are three kinds of intelligence learning. One is visual intelligence learning, repeat it 2 times. Visual intelligence learning. Second one is auditory intelligence learning, and the third one is kinesthetic intelligence learning. And the last slide for today. Though we are talking about all three intelligence, visual intelligence, auditory intelligence, kinesthetic intelligence, there is a saying, even for journalism student, of course you should know, those who make it to the top bracket in academics, they practice all the three learning methodologies. The more you follow all the three learning methodologies, all this will automatically and superbly work. There were few memory and text systems which were supposed to be told, but because of the lack of time, if there is any questions, I will take up. What's the time now? 10:30, 9:30, 10:30. Any questions? Any question? Yes.
You talked about having cognitive intelligence and emotional intelligence, which was also told to be non-cognitive intelligence.
Emotional intelligence is non-cognitive, yeah.
So I was just wondering that we as a species,
Yeah, okay. We as a human species, the blessed species, yes.
have evolved by being a species, by being cautious.
Huh.
So our instinct is to always be doubtful,
Yes.
which are prudent. But I feel emotion for being kind or showing empathy is a greater level of cognition than normal cognition.
Agreed. I would answer you in this manner. See, sometimes emotional intelligence is very, very important. If I take up one such emotional feeling, what we have, all of us have a fear. All of you agree? You have fear. But what is fear? Fear is an indication that you are trying to experience something which you have not experienced earlier. So if I say I should not have fear, it becomes dangerous. So dangerous that it can actually cost you life. That is the reason we say fear is a necessity. So when you are swimming, irrespective of you know or the trainer is there or not, when you first time get into a water, the coach makes sure that you are not put into a water where it is very deep. He is always going to put you on a knee deep water and try to give you practice and give you that feeling of I can face the water, I don't have a fear of water. So that way, it is important to have fear, because fear is indicating you are actually getting into a zone which you have not experienced earlier. Let me take up a joke in order to make you understand. All of you have seen Spider-Man 2? The highlight of Spider-Man 2, or I think, where a Spider-Man stops a metro train from falling. All of you know this. It so happened, I still remember, my younger son is Ritik, my elder son is Shaman. He is doing his the 3rd year in IIT Kharagpur. He is a topper there. Now, talking about my younger son, he is also more naughtiest. When he was for 5 years old, he was a big fan of Spider-Man. He knew that I had got a ticket for Spider-Man, and he came with the Spider-Man costume and he told, Papa, we will go to movie wearing this costume. Why? Because I am a Spider-Man, I am a Spider-Boy. I told okay, and we took him in the Spider-Man costume. The entire theatre, more than Spider-Man there, they were watching my son Spider-Boy. Because every now and then he used to use a toy, he used to do something used to go and fall, he used to get it. Movie finished. Immediately when we were supposed to return, my son started saying, oh, Papa, take me to station, railway station, take me to metro station, take me to metro station. I told, why is he saying metro station? Yeah, we need not go in metro because we have come in a car, we will go in a car. And because he was pushing me, I told in the evening I will take. Then he told okay, and we came home. As soon as he came home, he was not ready to wait. No, Papa, take me to metro now only. I just wanted to know why is he so curious. We have already reached home. He wanted to experience metro, but we have already reached home. We have already reached home. Why do you want to go to metro? Papa, what did Spider-Man do? He stopped the metro train. Nah? You take me to the metro station. Let the metro train come. I will stop it because I am a Spider-Man here. Now, how will you handle this? Sometimes fear is a blessing. Sometimes fear is a curse. Fear is a blessing when it is experienced under a sophisticated mentor or some of those coaches who are already experienced in it. So what I did, helplessly I had to make him believe that metro he could stop, or else I am bringing his confidence down. So what I told, I called my wife conversation. I told you become the engine, I will become one of the bogie. I called my elder son at that time. He was also one of the bogie, and we told the train is moving towards the spider boy, everything. And we kept on saying chukuku chukuku chukuku, we went. And he came there. Papa, I am stopping the metro train. And he did something, some toy will come and fall on us. We only held that because it was a threat. And we held it tight. And he thought that he's stopping the metro train, and he stopped. And we ultimately felt like yes, he stopped. Sometimes such confidence building is required, and fear is sometimes a curse, fear is sometimes a gift. Fear is an indication that you are trying to experience something which you have not experienced earlier. That is where your confidence will be low. Being from such a very special species, human species, we are gifted to actually evaluate everything and then do things. But the same gift is there even in every living creature. The animals in the forest know better what kind of caution they will have to take than us. Tsunami was already known to the fishes that were actually in the rivers, in the oceans, which started giving indication that a tsunami is going to come. So that way they are more alert, they are more emotionally and cognitively very, very strong. The whales, or it could be some species of fishes that live in the what we call oceans and rivers, they are capable of identifying it. Anybody else? Any questions? Yeah, thank you, love you all so much. Just a rhythmic clap so that I feel my class was good. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Guys, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Thank you, love you all so much. See you, future journalist. Barkatas.
Thank you, sir, for your profound and thought-provoking talk. Your talk about types of intelligences, and it gave us a descriptive analysis of the same, in tune with career aspects in journalism. Your talk was truly insightful. Your decades of experience and commitment have enriched our understanding. We are truly grateful for the wisdom and insight you've shared with us today. Guys, please fill the feedback form that's shared on your classrooms. So, sorry.
Yes, classroom.
Classrooms.
Please take it out mobile. Internet is so fast. Now you use mobile, okay?